What does it say about Barack Obama that it takes two of you to beat him?
That's just debate, too. Jesse Jackson won South Carolina twice, in '84 and '88. And he ran a good campaign, and Senator Obama's run a good campaign. He's run a good campaign everywhere. He's a good candidate with a good organization.
You know, what's so stunning about that answer was that it was an answer to a question that was never asked. Gene Robinson, he was asked whether it was fair that two Clintons were teaming up on Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton's response was, well, yeah, Jesse Jackson won it here in '84 and '88, too.
Yeah, his response was, Barack Obama's a black guy, and, you know, so he's a black candidate, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So this doesn't really matter. I mean, it's part of the campaign to kind of minimize the impact of this loss. I don't think, even at that point, they thought it was going to be a 28-point loss.
Didn't Bill Clinton say earlier this week, didn't he wag his finger at the press and say, shame on you, you're injecting race, and yet right there, he injected race.
Unprompted, unbidden, he just came out with it. I think that was the most kind of egregious, clear-cut example that we've had in all these nuanced things. Well, I didn't mean it, I didn't mean it. Right. He sure as hell meant to do that.
He sure as hell meant to.
But this is not without impact. I mean, I was just talking to a friend of mine from California, very politically well-connected, raises money for and gives money to candidates, works for candidates, you know, and an important African-American guy from California who said, you know, it's going to be really hard if Hillary Clinton gets this nomination for me to get excited about doing anything.
Margaret Carlson, let me read you some of the reviews, some of the rave reviews Bill Clinton could put on a movie poster. Jim Clyburn said Bill Clinton's campaigning may damage his reputation by attacks. The Dallas Morning News editorialized that Bill Clinton was getting dirty and ugly in the campaign. Hillary Clinton, his own wife, said Bill Clinton may have, quote, gone too far. John Kerry accused Bill Clinton of, quote, abusing the truth, being over the top, and being frantic. And tonight, Jim Clyburn, after the votes rolled in, said Bill Clinton's actions this week caused the voters to recoil. They were sick of the racial animus and said that white precincts also were offended by Bill Clinton. Now, Pat Buchanan will tell us this is wonderful, and this is all to the glory of Hillary Clinton. Yeah. But isn't it reasonable to suggest that this is bad news for Bill Clinton in the campaign?
Yeah, I think Pat, with all due respect, might be old. You know, he's not turned the page, and the page has turned. If it's about the future, this doesn't work, Pat. If it's about old-time politics, it does work. We'll see. But those remarks do make Bill Clinton happy. He's having an impact. It's all about him. He spoke well into Obama's speech. This is not done.
Look, Bill Clinton was speaking forever. Now, Pat, let's crack the code here for you really quickly. I'm going to, but we're going to talk about this for a second. It seems to me tonight, Pat, that while we hear all of these negative remarks about Bill Clinton, you're sitting over there smirking. You've been smirking all night because you think that all of this helps Hillary Clinton down the road, which suggests that you think white voters are, in their hearts, racist and will turn against Barack Obama.
That's just silly. Look, what I've said all along.
What
is this, the CSA PERDA panel here? Look, what I've said is basically this.
What does that mean?
Yes, we can. That's what Obama. You all think Obama's going to win? Do you all really sincerely believe that?
No.
Well, why do you don't believe it?
We don't know who's going to win,
Pat. Well, let me tell you what Clinton... Yeah, well, my guess is, and I would say so, I think Hillary Clinton's going to win very big next week.
And does she win because Bill Clinton played the race card this week?
Look, all these silly editorials, for heaven's sakes, you get all the editorials on Reagan and pile them a mile high. They mean absolutely nothing. What Clinton is doing is playing hardball to get his wife nominated. As soon as she breaks out, he will move in, and I maybe went too far, and the apologies are coming. But before that happens, she's going to be out front. That's the name of this game, and you don't worry about what Joe Scarborough said on TV about me and this other nonsense. Anybody worries about that has got a real problem, Joe.
Pat Buchanan, thank you so much for making this personal attacking me. Let's go to Hillary Clinton right now, who is speaking. I don't think she's insulting me. She's talking about South Carolina.
Thank you. Okay, I see. I don't know if I can hear you. The lady who's
Okay. She was talking about South Carolina. Before we cut into the question, Pat Buchanan was attacking me, saying that nobody cares about what I say.
I was just chuckling,
You
Joe.
know, the thing is, though, Pat, again, what do you know that nobody else knows, not only on this panel, but also across America? Do you think Jim Clyburn doesn't understand? Do you know South Carolina better than Jim Clyburn knows South Carolina?
No, I mean, Jim Clyburn knows South Carolina very well. But look, Joe, I'll tell you what I do know. The national polls show Hillary Rodham Clinton still with a pretty good, about a 10-point national lead. If you take a national snapshot, unless there's a big bump out of here, that lead will be reflected in these big states. When you hear the Clintons talking about Florida, they know something. They didn't put that out there 2 or 3 times. They must know among those 400,000 who have already voted, they're probably voting heavily for Hillary. And next weekend, they're going to be all talking about Florida, and we're going to be all talking about Florida. And Joe Scarborough will flip, as he tends to do after each of these elections.
It is another vicious attack by Pat Buchanan. Why do you hate? Here I am, Pat Buchanan, trying to be a uniter and not a divider, but you continue to practice the politics of division. Some things never change, Pat.
Scarborough.
You know what? Mount your horses and ride to the sound of gunfire. Pat and the brigade are coming after me.
Joe, you've drunk the Kool-Aid again, Joe. You got to get off it.
What Kool-Aid did I drink, Pat?
Well,
Seriously.
you drank first. I mean, when we did the George Bush inaugural, Joe came out and said, "I said, look, the silliest thing in the world to say we're going to end tyranny in our town, on our earth.
Lord.
It's a laugh." Where you said, "I've drunk the
Kool-Aid." 4 years?
Yeah,
Are we going back 4 years, Pat? Is that what we've become?
Well, listen, Joe. Look, I'll tell you what.
He has not. I will tell you this, Pat.
You all have turned the page, and when Barack Obama is nominated, I will say you all were so right. I could not have been more wrong. South Carolina was historic.
Okay. Well, we
about the past or the future.
We're about the future. You know, I will say this. I'm not predicting that Barack Obama is going to win the nomination, but I will tell you that a lot of Americans, a lot of younger Americans, younger than me, were probably deeply offended by what Bill Clinton did this past week, and was even more offended by Bill Clinton this afternoon seeming to say, yeah, Barack Obama is going to win this state, but he's only going to win it because he's black. If that means that I've been drinking the Kool-Aid, then I, Pat Buchanan, apologize to you, but that's exactly what I've done.
All right, that's an extremely noble statement, Joe.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, Pat. Now